Hello fans and friends across the universe, and welcome back to my YouTube channel from me to you. My name's Keir Smith. Now, of the many things that there are to admire about Paul McCartney, his bass playing would certainly be high on the list. He is a truly instinctive and innovative player, and also one that's really worked hard at developing his craft through the years. By the time he started Wings in 1971, he was, without doubt, the #1 bass player in the world. His career with the Beatles was now behind him, and I've always been of the opinion that Paul's bass playing was so good that it turned what were already very good Beatles songs into truly great ones. Songs like Rain, Everybody's Got Something Tied Except Me and My Monkey, Come Together, I Want You, She's So Heavy, the list goes on and on. He certainly had a knack for playing the best possible bass part for the song. He could be super melodic and busy with his bass parts when he needed to be, and then sparse and song-serving when it was called for. And naturally that continued through his work with Wings. And so for today's video, I wanted to share with you my 10 favourite bass lines or bass parts from his time with Wings. So here they are, in no particular order. And I'll start with one that's maybe not so obvious, Reception from 1979's Back to the Egg album. This is downright funky. It's short and sweet, but so very good. It's such a strong bass line that arguably it could have been made into something more. It certainly leaves me wanting more. Up next, and this is the first song that I thought of when I started putting this list together, it's Mrs. Vanderbilt from 1973's Band on the Run album. Melodically, it's so strong and immediately ear-catching. And I read somewhere that Paul may have written this song on bass. If that's true, then it certainly sounds that way. The bass is high in the mix, and it really is the lead instrument here. Those thick, chugging lines running throughout the song. Absolutely wonderful. Next up, I've chosen Junior's Farm, which was a standalone single from 1974. This is a propulsive bass line that starts and relentlessly drives the song on, and it never slows down. Well, not until it finishes. It sounds fantastic, I love it, and it had to be on my list. Next is Letting Go from Venus and Mars from 1975. That thick Rickenbacker bass sound was, for me, as important to the Wings sound as Paul's famous Hofner bass was to those early Beatles songs. And it adds sufficient muscle to Wings' more rockier songs. There's a real groove to Paul's playing here, while allowing room for Jimmy McCulloch's lead guitar playing to flourish. And in particular, his playing on the live version from the Wings Over America set is a real highlight. Next is Silly Love Songs from Wings at the Speed of Sound from 1976. This is often held up as one of Paul's very best bass lines, and it is. It's a busy bass line, and it adds a really strong underlying melodic hook to this song, which isn't apparent at first, but it underpins this joyous song in such a creative way and is brilliant throughout. So Silly Love Songs was an obvious pick, and so is this next one, which was a standalone single from 1979, the brilliant Goodnight Tonight. This is a prominent, popping and perfect bass line for this disco-styled song. And it covers a lot of ground. It initially takes a less is more approach, but gradually becomes more and more detailed as the song goes on, especially through the chorus and the instrumental break. And I think Paul's bass playing here is so innovative and shows his imagination for his bass playing and his restless need to create new sounds. I think his playing here is exceptional. Okay, from the obvious to the not so obvious. My next choice is Loop, First Indian on the Moon from Red Rose Speedway, 1973. Because this song is largely instrumental, it allows Paul's bass parts to go to different places, and naturally flourish. There's a bit in this song where it reaches a certain climax, you might say, and Paul's playing this really fast rumbling part before the song settles back down into its normal groove. It sounds amazing. But there's also some cool and groovy playing shortly after the 2-minute 45 mark, which I really like too. To my ears, it's all very stylish and I really enjoy it. Back to 1973's Band on the Run album for my next choice, which is Let Me Roll It. This is low temperature stuff. Very cool. Paul's bass takes the lead here over this sparse arrangement and it throbs slowly until it reaches that moment when that superb guitar riff comes in. But then right after that you hear those two bass notes that lock in with the drums, that dum. So great. Another from Wings at the Speed of Sound from 1976. This one is Time to Hide. Because Denny Lane's on lead vocal here and Jimmy McCulloch's guitar playing is of a more rhythmic style, it allows Paul space and time to stretch out, and he does so very effectively. He plays some really great parts here. He plays some walking bass lines, some great descending lines, and I love those gulping notes that he picks out that signal the end of the song too. I think his playing here is particularly special. This would be one of my top 5 favourite bass wing songs. I think it's that good. And lastly, one from London Town from 1978 with A Little Luck. And there's no guitars on this song, simply light drums, synthesizers, and of course Paul's bass. And largely it lurks in the background with the drums in a subtle and unassuming way, simply serving the song, until that lengthy instrumental break and Paul picks out some delightful notes at exactly 4 minutes 4 onwards that really take the song on in a beautiful way. It's light and melodic and really pretty. So a quick recap of these great wing songs with cool bass lines. I chose Reception, Mrs. Vanderbilt, Junior's Farm, Letting Go, Silly Love Songs, Good Night Tonight, Loop, First Indian on the Moon, Can You Believe It, Let Me Roll It, Time to Hide, and With a Little Luck. So, what did I miss? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. After getting this list together, I immediately thought of More Smooth Than the Grey Goose from London Town, She's My Baby from Wings at the Speed of Sound, The Note You Never Wrote. I really like Paul's bass playing there too. And I'm sure I could have chosen a good few more too. And I was thinking to myself earlier today, how good that bass line is on Heart of the Country from Ram. And then my attention quickly shifted to Take It Away from Tug of War. I'll have to get a top 10, probably a top 20 list from his solo albums next. Anyway, no doubt all of that's to come. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for my next video sometime soon. Until then, bye for now.